I choose you. You don't think you've had a reading from me before, so happy 11/11. I have shuffled these already. I'm going to cut them. All right, we're ready to get started. So the first card sums up your overall situation, whether you asked about something in particular or if the universe is just telling you something you need to know. This would sum it up. So you're at a point where you have just started to communicate with someone, or you've just, not just communication, you've just started to try to make yourself vulnerable and explain to somebody how they hurt you. How something, and not even how they hurt you, but how something was painful. It's a communication about something painful. You felt vulnerable and you put yourself out there. And you are not, this is somebody that hurt you. Somebody has hurt you and you're making the first strides toward rebuilding connection between you. You're trying to start that by hesitantly communicating. But you're just figuring out how to communicate with this person, and you're still treading on thin ice. That's not the right phrase, but you're still learning their ways, and so we're going slowly. At this point in time, you're very hesitant. You're not sure whether or not they can be trusted. You haven't completely... You may have forgiven them, and you might be giving them the benefit of the doubt. You might be giving them a second chance, and in all action, you really are. But there's a part of you that's holding back, a part of you that's not fully opening up yet until you wait and see. You're waiting to see what they prove to you. So you're going to trust them, but you're very nervous about it, kind of like with one eye open. You haven't reached a point where you've built enough trust where you can feel 100% comfortable yet. All right, what is affecting that? So what crosses you? Oh my. Yeah, this makes a lot of sense. Really, what's contributing to your difficulty with trust and your uneasiness with vulnerability is you have recently been knocked down. You spent time building something up. You devoted energy and attention to something that took some time. It took a while, and it took a lot of work. You put a lot of yourself into it, started to identify with it, and it crumbled down. Something you worked so hard for, and even though part of you may know that needed to go away to make room for something better, it still was a devastating loss. Even if it needed to happen, even if it wasn't serving you, you're still mourning something that you worked really hard on, and that is contributing to your difficulty being able to just jump right in and trust somebody else, or even just start building right away because you know what happened last time. At the foundation of this issue, something possibly in the distant past that gave rise to this situation, we have the Seven of Summer. It's a pretty card. What's your favorite color? The rainbow. What path do you want to go down? All of them. Clearly, we can't live our life that way, because if we don't pick a direction, we don't move. We can consider all of our possible options as much as we want to, but until we make a decision and go with it, we are not making any progress. So at the foundation of this issue is that you took too long in making a decision. Maybe you lost out on some opportunities because you waited too long to decide. Maybe you were pressured to decide before you were ready and you quickly just picked one without actually being sure of it. Maybe you weren't sure of what direction to go, and this has led to this situation because there was some kind of a wrong move somewhere. Whatever it is, this is based on that daydreaming without action. In your recent past that contributes to this situation, you have found balance. So a lot of us have a really hard time trying to balance the energies within ourselves, balance our lives, balance Mom Rosie, friend Rosie, lover Rosie, student Rosie, employee Rosie. So you're just trying to bring all those forces into harmony and not having them fight against each other or compete with one another for your energy, but to balance and to work with each other. And everything in your life, you're trying to find a way for it all to work with you and not against you or against the other things you need to do. All of your responsibilities and all of your pleasures and all of your duties and all of your fun, trying to figure out, a way to give to one without neglecting another. And it's like a juggling act. How to be just assertive enough without being too aggressive, how to be just accommodating enough without being too passive, finding that happy medium. And you have been focusing on that recently, and that is what contributes to this. So maybe that experience has taught you to have more balance. If you don't have all your eggs in one basket, then it's not so devastating if that basket collapses. In your near future, we're looking at the 6 of Winter. Winter can be kind of a sad suit, and I see a theme so far. Well, 2, but and it's emotional pain, but it's not telling me that you're in the emotional pain. You're actually just coming out of it. You're just coming out of it. You're finding the words to express it. This shows that you're taking the lesson, the painful lessons, what they taught you. You're putting them in this boat, and you're moving on to the next shore. So everything else about the experience you're leaving behind you. It's in the past. You're letting it go. But you are taking with you the treasure that you gained, what it taught you about yourself, what you learned about the world, the wisdom that you gained, so that when you get to the next land or the next part of your life or next whatever, you'll be able to use that knowledge and maybe have a different outcome. And you'll be more aware. What crowns you, so the best thing you have going for you when it pertains to this situation. So I'm trying to decide if this is a person in your life or if this is an aspect of yourself. Perhaps you'll know. This would either be a young man who really wants to be your knight in shining armor. He wants to take care of you. He wants to comfort you. He wants to slowly and methodically and responsibly plan out the solution to all your worries. He's a good guy. He's a really good guy, but depending on your sign and how you interact with other people, he may, I don't want to say controlling, that's not the right word, but he may be trying to do too much. He might be co-opting your independence or attempting to, not in a malicious way. He really just wants to help. He really does. But he's the prince. He hasn't yet matured enough to know how much is too much and how much is the right amount. And he might have a lot of opinions. And they might be different than yours. And he may think that he knows what you should do with your life. Since this is in the best aspect part, perhaps this is going to be a good thing. This is somebody that can teach you with that balance, how to balance your work and your fun, how to take care of your responsibilities without forgetting what it's like to be a living, temporary human. This person might be able to show you how not to neglect your spirit in pursuit of the material that we need to survive on this planet. They might be able to show you a youthful approach to being responsible that allows you to take care of your responsibilities without selling your soul. So, and if that's not a person, then that would just be an aspect of you that you discover within yourself, and that's the most beneficial thing to you in this situation, is that whatever pain that you've been through, no matter what's collapsed, when you're moving on and you're seeking this balance, you are going to be making responsible choices. You are going to be thinking about your future and the long-term effects, and that's a good thing. You, in this situation, you have worked so hard, and you're just wondering, when is it going to be my turn? When am I going to get the reward for everything that I've done? When is it going to pay off? He's sitting on this pumpkin. He planted it. He watered it, he weeded it, he watched it, and watched it, and watched it. Pumpkin's not ready. Doesn't mean he wasn't good enough, or he didn't do enough, or he didn't work hard enough. He's not a failure. It's just not the pumpkin's time. The pumpkin will finish ripening on its own schedule. There's nothing else we can do. So you, in this situation, you are just waiting after working so hard and putting in so much of your energy for something to come of it. And this is just a card that begs you to be patient. Now, it's not promising that anything will come of it, but where you are is in a state of waiting. You could be doing something else. Let that fruit go the way it's going to go. You can go focus on another part of your life and go check back on this later. You don't need to sit there and hover over it and wonder, when is this going to pay off? Just walk away. You know what they say, watch pot never boils anyways. So stop obsessing too much about a particular situation and when it's going to go your way. Instead, take some time to maybe focus on other things that you've been neglecting, maybe your spiritual self or something. And your environment, something around you that affects this situation, but that isn't you. Well, you definitely have some dependable, down-to-earth men in your life. And in this case, it's something to be thankful for. When you find yourself on your ass after everything falling apart and you're feeling a little shaky and you're just starting in a new direction, who better to help you with that than the responsible ones, the ones who have compiled their data and their research and weighed and measured risk and plotted out their course surely, slowly, and carefully. So that's a blessing to you. There is along with that prince who shows you the youthful side, you'll have the king. This is somebody who, this could even be your father, somebody who really cares about you. And they show that by providing for you materially. They've worked hard as well all their life, and they've been responsible and frugal with their money, and they have a decent amount, or at least they have things that they can share, things that they've worked hard for, things that they've earned. And that because they love you, they are going to be demonstrating their love to you by sharing those things with you or offering you some type of help, maybe a place to stay or food to eat. This man also may have some wisdom to share with you. He's not going to judge you. He's actually very smart, very wise. And if you're trying to go in a direction that he could give you some advice on, it would be a good person to talk to. Yeah, and he's also a truly good guy. A good, salt of the earth, grounded, down to earth, non-cocky, good guy. So you've got those both in your corner. Hopes or fears when it comes to this situation? You're hoping for a wish to come true. You're hoping for something delightful to happen. In particular, when it comes to, and it may be romance, it doesn't have to be romance, but something that makes you feel that way. That in love with life or in love with the world or just lit on fire, giddy, infatuated. But it's not just that. It's just emotional contentment. Your hope is that wherever you're heading now is going to bring you to a place where you feel satisfied and fulfilled. Like you've reached, this is the point that you'll say, I made it. This is the point you dream of. I want to feel that way. I want to feel whole. I want to feel complete. I want to feel content. So that's your hope. And perhaps that's why you spent so much time here, just trying to figure out exactly which path would lead you to that destination. Final card, this is your possible outcome if you continue on the current path. You can change your decisions anytime, so the future is not set in stone. If you don't like what this says, be conscious of your decisions, make different ones, and you'll go a different way. But based on your current life choices, likely outcome for you regarding this situation is a new beginning of creativity. New ideas, new thoughts, new artistic experiences, colorful things, passionate things. You might take up a hobby that involves crafting or creating something beautiful. This is just something new. So you're gonna start something new. Could be a project, could be a hobby. Most likely it is not like a job or a partnership. This has purpose. This has aim. This has passion. You're really excited about it. And you're planning and formulating in your mind all the next steps. And you haven't really barely gotten started yet, but you're figuring it out, and it really excites you. And so this is going to be something that you're hoping that when you start this, because you feel so activated by it, that it might bring you that emotional contentment that you feel that you're lacking right now. So, and as you head over to this new beginning, you're bringing with you the lessons from your previous disappointment, and that's going to better guide your actions and form a different type of experience this time. So that's all. Hopefully you got something out of that. It's hit or miss, and I never know whether I'm on or not because I don't have any idea. So hopefully that spoke to you in some kind of way. Happy 11/11. I love you.